Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to show you how to repair a blender that stopped working. Before we go ahead to open this blender, the first thing we want to do is check if the problem is really from the blender or from the wall socket. So before we blame the blender, we first have to check the wall socket. For these are the tools that we are going to be needing. We'll need a test lamp for testing the wall socket. We'll need a multimeter and a screwdriver. And once we confirm the outlet is fine, we'll go ahead and open the blender and diagnose the fault. Now that we have confirmed the problem is not from the outlet, we'll go ahead and open the blender and diagnose the fault. Now that the blender is open, let's talk about the common faults that can cause it not to work. It can be a broken wire, that means it has no continuity, a burnt motor coil, a faulty switch, or a blown thermal fuse which is embedded into the blender that prevents it from overheating. We'll test each of these one by one to find the exact problem. First, we will set our multimeter to continuity. If you are not sure how to use a multimeter, I explained it step by step in a previous video. You can check that out. Now I'm touching. The meter is set on continuity. Now I'm touching each end of the wire. If it beeps, the wire is good. If there is no beep, the wire is open. So we'll take one end of the wire. So this end of the wire is good. Then the next we'll check the other end. Continuity is present in the wire. The wire is good. So the next, now we'll be checking continuity on the switch to confirm whether the switch is still working or not. So still on continuity mode, we take one end of the probe of the multimeter to this end, the one that terminates from the wire. Then while the switch is turned on, we'll make contact with the other end. So from the multimeter, it signals that the switch is still good. So since there is continuity on the switch, the switch is in good condition. Now we are left with the motor coil and the thermal fuse. So I have brought out the thermal fuse. The thermal fuse rating on this blender is a 250 volts, 6 amps, and it should not exceed 105 degrees centigrade. So anything above this, it will blow this fuse and cut out supply to the coil. So in order to check, we have to check continuity from one end of the fuse to the other end of the fuse. So I have made a small incision on this other end so as to access if this fuse is in good condition. So taking your probe, placing it on one end of the fuse and the other end of the fuse while the meter is still on continuity. If it beeps, it shows that the fuse is in good condition, but if it does not, the fuse is blown and should be changed. Next, we will do a physical inspection of the coil, looking for burnt areas, loose connections, or any damaged windings. I usually check the other likely components first before testing the motor coil, as most faults come from the little things that we tend to overlook. Usually, there is no issues with the coil. So we now check the ends with a multimeter on continuity to confirm the windings are still electrically intact. So these are the ends of the coil. So while on continuity, we'll test using both probes of the multimeter. We'll confirm if it beeps or it reads on the meter, it shows that the coil is still electrically intact. So the fault isn't coming from the coil. That means our next step is to check the carbon brushes, because if they are worn out or not making contact, the motor wouldn't turn on at all. After thorough inspection of the brushes, I discovered the fault is from one of the brushes, as it is not making contact with the commutator. I do not have a replacement brush at the moment, so for testing purposes only, I'm going to add this small spring behind the brush to push it forward and restore contact. This is only a temporary fix to confirm the fault. Carbon brushes must be replaced properly for long-term use. So we are done fixing the carbon brush. The next step now is to assemble the parts together so as to ascertain if what we did gives us a positive result or not. So friends, we are done and it's time for testing. Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to show you how to repair a blender that stopped working. Before we go ahead to open this blender, the first thing we want to do is check if the problem is really from the blender or from the wall socket. So before we blame the blender, we first have to check the wall socket. For these are the tools that we are going to be needing. We'll need a test lamp for testing the wall socket. We'll need a multimeter and a screwdriver. And once we confirm the outlet is fine, we'll go ahead and open the blender and diagnose the fault.